What's up, y'all? We're back with another YouTube video. I'm so stoked. Love YouTube. So I just want to drop something real quick because I was in a mastermind this weekend with a bunch of 6, 7, 8-figure business owners, and which was amazing. It was super, super inspiring for me to be around other entrepreneurs who are crushing it and then just have a fire under my ass to get lit and continue scaling. And at the same time, what I realized is I don't have to be like all of them. I can run my business and grow my business and have a successful business and still be who I am. And for me, and hopefully you see that in my brand, and if you're not super familiar with me and you're catching me on YouTube, make sure you go over to Instagram and shoot me a follow. My Instagram will be dropped in the caption below, but in case you want to pause me real quick, it's VICL Weber, WEBER. Same face, same pic, same handle, I think. But the point is, I don't have to run my business like them. I don't have to be like them. I don't have to party like them. I don't have to do the things that they need to do or they choose to do. I don't have to live in Dubai. I don't have to live in Miami. I don't have to live in New York. I don't have to live in LA. I mean, some of those places I've lived and I've loved, but that's because my heart told me to go there. It's not because there's a bunch of other fucking cool guys driving Lambos, so I gotta go be in the scene and be at the fucking restaurant with the person. That's cool, and I'm not saying don't network, and if you're kind of new to networking and building relationships and connecting with people, there's I think I just put out a YouTube on that. Go back through my YouTube videos. I think I have a really quick one about moving to cities really quickly and getting plugged into community and starting to build relationships super quickly. So go back through that if you identify as someone who's a little bit socially awkward or not super confident about building relationships. There's some good meat in there. But the point is I don't forget who I am, and I don't try to be somebody that I'm not. And this took me a really long time to learn because I imagine that maybe I might be a little bit older than some of you. I am 31, so I had a really long period to go through all of my I want to be like everybody else, and why doesn't Chad from Delta Tau fraternity ask me out to his fucking, semi-formal? Why did he go with Sally instead? We just slept together last weekend. I had my time period for that, and I had a lot of really great mentors in the last couple of years really continue to reflect back to me that I'm going to attract the right people in my life by staying true to my values and staying true to who I am, and to actually reframe the question from do they like me to do I like them. And so now that there's more people coming into my life and more invitations and more this and more that, and it's I'm in rooms with all these people all the time, and people are, I'm constantly that little girl in me, that part of me that, always wanted to be picked growing up is getting fed a lot more. So now I have more of a reference point of okay, my time's super limited. I'm scaling this amazing business, and, I have a really dedicated commitment and practice to myself and to my dance and into the things that to my movement. I'm also an artist. So for me, it's scaling my business and also my art practice. So whether that's dancing, whether that's making art, whether that's making content, whether that's going for a run, and whether that's playing soccer, my movement and my sort of, personal spiritual practices all kind of combined. So those two things have to be fed. And then whatever time I have in between, then I assess and ask myself, is this needle driving for me? Are these people I really want to spend a limited 2-3 hours that I have today with? Or are we doing something that is really going to light me up? Or can I get the same feeling that I'm looking for by going to this event that I don't really want to go to or be at somewhere else? Can I feed that for myself through my dance practice or photography or something else I also enjoy? Can I go to a new restaurant by myself and have a meal with myself and make some new friends? I don't have to be the party person all the time, and I don't have to be in every event with every single person, because I will again say authentically, if you are truly being authentic, just for the sake of whether or not everybody likes you, you also have a much higher bar for who you like yourself. So inherently, if you really are being authentic, there's going to be people that you don't want to spend time with. I'm not saying I don't love people. I'm not saying that there's not qualities about people that I love, but that doesn't mean I have to be friends with them. It doesn't mean that I have to like let them into like my intimate life and tell them all my intimate details, because sometimes people just have different values. And so bringing this thing full circle, as the life that I always wanted is like really starting to materialize more as I'm really doing the thing with my business, which, by the way, if you don't already know, I'm a full stack business consultant. So if you need some help growing your business and scaling into your first 5 months, and that's where you want to stay, you can click the link below to schedule a call, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram and say, yo, let's chat, or whatever. Shoot me an emoji. I'm really into skulls right now, so like shoot me a skull emoji, ask for the details of what it looks like to work together. But at the very least, I hope that this becomes a space where you can find value about the process of growing a successful business online and everything that involves, from product development to mindset to networking and social networking to client delivery to just all the trials and tribulations of growing a business online full time. So anyway, full circle back. Values. So I ran into some people I knew last night, and we were just having a conversation, and right now the buzzword is meditation and and gratitude and like biohacking and like And so I was making a joke because everybody was like, oh, you're totally from California. And I was like, yeah. Like, I make sure that I maintain my vibe, because as much as instead of a gratitude practice, I have like a California practice. Like, I like to remind myself of the things of who I am before I started becoming this like digital jet setter nomad, before my business started booming, before I started working with clients all over the place, before my Instagram following started growing, before I started becoming a super visible person. And that is a girl from kind of like a small-ish suburb beach town south of LA. I grew up playing soccer. I like to skate. I like the beach. I want to become a better surfer, and I know I like to surf. I really love music. I love listening to music from all over the world. I love traveling, and I love cultures. So I love connecting with people from all over the world. I love opening my perspective and having like deep dialogues with people so that I can expand my reference point of how to deal with situations, and just seeing how different people live and seeing if there's something that they can share with me that then makes me grow as a personal development. And then fun, I love to party. I love to go out to events. I love dancing. I love DJs. I love the whole scene. I love PR. I love photos. I love cameras, So I try to remind myself of like the core base things. And I'm super natural. Like, I'm always looking for ways that I can even then go a deeper layer of like connecting back to nature, rerouting in the ways that like our ancestors lived before internet came out, before lights came out, all the things that my ancestors were doing. No phone. How were we connecting? We were connecting with in-person conversations. We were knocking on each other's doors. We were saying like, hey, what's up? Like, let's go out for a coffee. That's how I like to connect, and that's how I like to do business. So I try to be off my phone as much as possible. I try to connect with people in real time as much as I can. And I try to really get to know people, like ask people where they're from and how they're doing, and what their names of their families and their cats and their babies and their birthdays and their astro signs and their human designs. Like, how did we connect with people before social media was a thing? And for some of you guys watching this may seem like a foreign concept. I'm a millennial, so, until I was like literally 16, 15, half my life, we didn't have social media on phones. Like, we had phones to like text each other to be like, hey, let's meet up at Jason's so we can all get drunk in the closet. Like, that's how we were talking, but it's not like we were like, da-da-da-da. I mean, like, of course, we were like talking and chatting and, oh, I hooked up with Jason at Sammy's birthday party last weekend. Like, of course, like, and we had AIM and AOL. So, like, of course, the first phases of social media were around, but we weren't obsessed with Instagram and TikTok and all these ways to compare each other. Like, our lives were still super physical, and maybe we had Facebook so we could, like, take photos at prom or whatever. But then Instagram came out and changed the whole game. So, there's still a very deep value of me and a upbringing and patterning of me to want to be physical and connect with people. And I always remind myself that. I love being barefoot. I love doing the things that remind me of who I was before I started to be this person. So success doesn't make you who you are. It can, I'm not God, I'm not guru. So if you are the kind of person that wants to let success completely eradicate who you were before you became rich, like, go for it. I'm just maybe not the best channel for you. But if you really want to know how to maintain your authenticity and your integrity of who you are as a person and not get lost in the mix and in the sauce, like so many people say, then these are some really great ways to stay that, is to always do the things that make you happy aside from your business, aside from the things that make you money, and even better if it's both, Some people are professional dancers and they love dancing and art and stuff and they make money like that. But if you are some service-based online business, brick and mortar, and making money all day isn't your joy, and I'm sure like maybe you're a DJ, maybe you like music, maybe you're also an artist, maybe you're a sick basketball player, like what are the things that you like to do that bring you joy that have nothing to do with making money? Those are the things that I would tell you to really focus on, and make a list of your values and try at all times to embody that. And when you're in different environments and you're in different groups with people who may have a shit ton more money than you and really intimidate you, always just ask yourself, like, who are you being in that moment? Who do you want to be? And that's not like, oh, I want to be the guy with the Lambo. Like, let me just visualize myself into a 7-month figure right now so all these people respect me. It's like, who am I at a core outside of what's in my bank? And for me, I can't tell you the amount of people that comment on my content or DM me and say, I love your page, I love your content, you're so authentic, because that's me. I don't want to run my Instagram or my business online the way everybody else does. And that's why I always try to maintain like a really solid thread of what's going on in my personal life with my business, so that you can see the whole picture of who I am. And so that if you feel inspired by me and want to work with me, you know what I'm going to be teaching you. And I'm not just teaching you the strategy and the structures to grow a 7-figure business. I'm also telling you how to be a whole person, which means prioritizing relationships, family, things that make you happy, like the creative side of life, how to be in alignment with life, which also then means getting more money, having aligned clients. But that's just a side product. Like, if you're not happy, none of it matters. And I'm the first to tell you that. I have to constantly ask myself, like, great, things are going great. Life is expanding. I'm quantum leaping again. Am I happy? Is there something in my life that's going on right now that I'm not happy with? And what can I do to change that? Do I need to play more? Do I need to make more art? Do I need to dance more? Do I need to listen to more music? Do I need to go out about town and make more friends and go to listen to some music and, find a DJ set to dance to? What do I need to do to reroute myself and reground myself in my fundamental, which is joy? Like, life on earth is joy. And what can I do to balance the part of me that deserves to have success and is successful in growing a business, and all that kind of stuff, from a strategy to a quantum level of manifesting that financial abundance in my life. But what can I do right now that has nothing to do with money? Because I'm already free and I'm already independent of that. So what decisions can I make right now, today, that allow me to have that life of a 7-figure business owner already? Whether that means travel, whether that means take myself out to eat, whether that means, go network with people who are already where I want to be so they can tell me how to get there faster. Like, who knows? And that path is going to be different for you. But when you're in those rooms with the people that you've always wanted to be socializing with, like, don't forget who you are, because it's not about being friends with them. It's about you being you and staying centered so that you're naturally attracting the people who are really in alignment with you. Because if you're trying to be somebody else, like, that's not really who you are. So then whatever relationship you do manifest, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or a business situation, it's eventually going to fall apart if you're not being authentic. Because eventually, if you're attuned to yourself enough, your soul will tell you, hey, I'm not happy in this situation because I'm not really being myself. And the more you start to be yourself, those situations that were false to begin with are going to start to fall apart. So, yeah. That's how I had to just have a moment and be like, maybe I didn't make all my friends this weekend, but was I being myself, and did I do my best to be myself? Yes, absolutely. And by nature of that, a lot of people still want to hang out with me, but the reference point is, do I like this person? Do I want to spend time with them? And it's okay if I don't. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get to 7 figures because I didn't get invited to the after party for the whatever. whatever the situation is. I didn't get invited to the after party in the back of the Lambo because I wasn't meant to be there, and I don't need to be there. I can still be successful, and I can still make all my friends, and I can still have all the right people in my life, and I don't need to control everything. The right people are going to invite me. I'm going to attract all the right situations, and I don't have to force anything. So, and I feel way, way, way centered and grounded in that, even more than I ever have in my life. So if you're someone who struggles with like self-doubt and self-worth, whether it's about business or but if it's a social thing, from personal relationships to friendships to business relationships, like don't forget, like your relationship with yourself is what's primary. And the people that are going to love you and not leave you is because you're being authentic. It has nothing to do with how much money is in your bank and whether you can drive them around a Lambo or buy them a $500 steak. It has to do with, are you a good person, and are you guys just personally aligned to co-create and be in each other's lives at this point? And stay true to your values, whatever that is. And you have to be okay with being on your own. I went through some serious periods of my life in my 20s after I left college on being on my own and like learning how to have a relationship with myself, which is why it's a lot easier for me to move to different towns these days. And I'm not worried about making friends. I know how to make friends. And I know how to get plugged into communities really quickly. And I know how to receive from people in the way that I want to receive. And so by nature of that, people invite me to a lot of things. People bring me into their homes. People offer to do things for me. I get asked or offered to do things a lot. And I also know how to ask for what I want. And I also know how to spend time with myself, because I'm not coming into these situations with this like neediness of like, I need you guys to love me. Not to say that sometimes that doesn't come up when I'm already there, but it's not the primary driver of my life. Like social approval and things like that is not the primary driver of my life, which is why that I think more and more people continue to get attracted to me and want to be in my space. Officially being labeled as the vibe girl, because I have the vibes, but that doesn't mean that I have to allow them access into my life. Like I have a much more centered driving point of do I want to call this person my friend? Do I want to date this person? Like, whatever. Do I want this person to be my business mentor? Like, is this a space in a community I want to really invest a lot of time with? Like, because I know I'm fine on my own. And if I'm not happy in an environment, I remove myself. And then if it's something I can't solve on my own, or I'm still wanting something else, then I look for something else that's going to fulfill me better, that has the values that I'm looking for. So anyway, I hope this helps. Drop some comments below if you have any questions or how this resonated for you, if there's content you want to see me build more on in terms of the entrepreneurship journey, living abroad, building relationships and communities, how to really have a relationship-based business, not a marketing-based business. I'm your girl. Make sure you shoot me a follow on Instagram, and we'll catch you next time.